What should I include in my welcome flow? That's the topic of today's video. I'm Sarah Kapler, founder and CEO of Centric Squared. We're an email marketing agency, and we have supported dozens of small businesses over the years, either creating their welcome flow, optimizing their welcome flow, auditing their welcome flow, improving their welcome flow. And today's video is going to be 5 things that you must do in your welcome flow if you want it to be high performing. Now, your welcome email and your welcome flow, meaning the series of emails as part of your welcome series, is probably the most important email you'll put together. Because number one, it gets the most open rates. Welcome flows consistently have over 50%, sometimes 60, 80% open rates. And that's much higher than any other campaign you send. You're going to get more eyes on this email. People who receive a welcome flow have opted in on your site for something. We'll talk about what later. And they're engaged. They want to hear from you. They want to learn from you. And in this video, we're going to cover how to make sure that you're making the most use of this retail, because it's absolutely prime real estate in the world of email marketing. I'm not here to debate whether or not you should have one. The answer is yes. I'm here to walk you through 5 things that will make your welcome flow high performing. So let's get started. The first one I'm going to cover is to deliver what you promised immediately. When you have a pop-up form on your website, an offer, it could be a coupon code, it could be a download, it could be an invitation, it could be a freebie, who knows, something that's compelling people to sign up to your newsletter. You're usually making some kind of a promise. Access this PDF, get the white paper, here's the coupon. And the first, main key element that a lot of people miss in their welcome flow is to deliver what you promised immediately. And what I mean by that is in your welcome flow email, your top creative or the first thing you lead with should be what you promised to deliver. If it's a discount, a PDF, deliver it, make it easy for them to access, and make sure it works. Test it. You'd be surprised at how many people don't. Take the time to test and make sure it's in an easy to read format and have the link in an obvious first position place in that very first email. If you say you're going to give something, give it away immediately. Don't make it complicated. There's a sort of trust that comes from email, right? Like it's an opportunity to build trust. And if you try to lead with 10 other things and you put your coupon code in small print at the very bottom, the first impression is, okay, you made me work really hard for that. Why? Why not just deliver what you promised immediately? It's not a nice feeling to have to hunt for information, especially if it's a coupon code. You don't want to make them have to pull out pen and paper to write it down because you can't copy it from the text directly. So think about these things. Whatever it is that you're delivering, that you're promising in that welcome email, make sure to give it. It's a trust-building opportunity in a moment. And, it's one of those things where you either build trust immediately or you lose it forever, right? And so there's really no in between. It's either clear and easy or it's fishy. So number 1, deliver what you promised immediately. When we audit welcome flows for clients, and especially if they're not performing, it usually is something around this. They're not testing, they're not coming at that welcome email from the perspective of the user, and they're missing something, an opportunity to make it easy. The second thing you should do in your welcome flow is to write like a human being. So a lot of brands miss this mark. They have very generic, welcome to our newsletter. Write like you're talking to someone in real life. Hey, thanks for being here. I'm glad you signed up. Here's the thing we promised you. Let me tell you a little bit about what we do and how we can help you. People really miss this one because I like to say that there's too many cooks in the kitchen, too many people weighing in on, don't forget to include this, but we also did this 2 years ago, and don't forget, we have this coming up. And when you try to cram in so much information in that first touch point, it can come off corporate and like a lot of jargon and like almost like a press release, kind of highbrow. And that tends to be a pretty ineffective and low converting message. People open the email and go, you're telling me a lot and you're not really talking to me personally. That's sets the tone for kind of your brand. So talk to people like they're human, and I think that's something a lot of brands are, missing in their welcome flows, and some small changes to the tone and the style can really help build that rapport early on. So remember, people don't connect with companies, they connect with people. So if you have a chance to put in a face, a name, the founder, the head of sales, whoever you want to showcase as the face of your brand, it's nice to have it be more personal. Tends to convert much, much better. Okay, number 3, in a welcome flow, everybody wants to tell their story. It's absolutely the right place to tell the story, but the mark that people miss often is to be brief. So I know every business owner has a lot that they want to say about their business, about what makes them different, about how long they've been around, about their amazing team, about all their services, all their, customer testimonials. Every business has a story to tell and could probably write at least a short story about it. But in the welcome email, you need to be brief. We're talking 2 to 3 sentences, maybe a paragraph on something specific, but you really want to limit that. Less is actually more here. So think about how you can condense that into maybe why you started, what makes you different. This is where it's important to think about what differentiates you from your competitors. Think about the other brands, the other stories that your potential customers are hearing. Why you? What makes you special? And focus really on those key elements. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't have a place for your full story somewhere. We highly encourage that. And when we work with clients, we try to develop that content because it's a great story to tell. But we try to put that somewhere on the website in a longer form. And then from the email, you can invite people to learn more or to read the full story if they're interested. But in the email itself, you're keeping it brief, you're keeping it to high-level topics. And the reason is, they just met you. They just signed up for your list. You have maybe a product or a service, maybe they're assessing vendors. They're not at the stage where they're going to be consuming, or most people won't be consuming, paragraphs about your business. They're really looking for that high level. And if you put too much of a story, too long of a story, you'll lose them. They're not going to read down to the bottom of the email. So tell your story, but be brief. That's number 3. The 4th point here, what to do in your welcome flow, is to set those expectations early. This sounds simple. You want to tell people what they can expect to hear from you, how often, what kind of content you're going to be sending. But actually, it's one of the hardest questions to answer for businesses because, what is your marketing strategy? What kind of content are you putting out? Can you commit to a once a month roundup of podcasts or a once a week educational content? It's kind of a bigger question, but it's important to set those expectations early because if someone signs up for your list and you say, hey, we're going to be emailing you once a month with some of our best email marketing tips, hint, hint, sign up for our email list, then that's what you need to deliver, and that's what they're expecting. And you kind of train people to recognize that there's going to be value in these emails and to open the emails and to engage with the emails. And that's really important for your deliverability. You want people on your list that want your emails. And how would they know if they want your email if you don't tell them what's coming? So the welcome flow is an opportunity to tell people what's coming. If you don't set expectations early, what happens is you're simply relying on, I really, really hope this subject line is catchy this month, because people won't know to dig into it unless you tell them. So use that retail to kind of train people, prime people, and set those expectations early for your email cadence, whatever it is, whether it's weekly, whether it's yearly. Some brands that offer, let's say, once or twice a year discount might even announce that. Glad you signed up for our list. We have 2 sales a year, one in the summer, one in the holidays. And you'll be surprised that, when those sales come around and it's time to, have those emails convert, people will remember, that these are the big sales. You're not a big discounting brand, but there are 2 sales sales in a year. So those discount shoppers will respond to that. It sounds small to set expectations, but it does reduce unsubscribes if you're clear. And it makes you look intentional and organized, which is always a good look for any business. The last point I want to make, point number 5, what to include in your welcome flow, is think of each email in your series as having one clear call to action. Now, call to action is one of those terms that's popular in marketing. Think of it as the big shiny graphic with the big shiny button. What is it you want people to do after reading this email? And this is the hardest one for every single business we've supported, because everybody wants to put 4 or 5 calls to action in an email. But really, it's one of those things where less is more. Think about it as, analysis paralysis. If you start dumping multiple calls to action in an email, what happens is it gets kind of watered down and you're losing people. They're reading the email. They go, oh, okay, what do you, no, but that's also, no. And then they get overwhelmed, they close the email, and they go, oh, I'll come back to it later. That's what you're trying to avoid. What you want is one simple call to action that's easy, that's, obviously smart and well thought out, something that resonates and that will, get those clicks and be well designed. But having one clear call to action per email is really the key. The more options you give in an email, the less people will click on anything. That tends to be the pattern. Now, there are some exceptions, but there's few and far between. We definitely see welcome flow emails convert better, meaning people taking that next step, when it's just obvious and there's only 1, maybe 2 steps to take. Now, just to be clear, that doesn't mean you can't have other links in your email at all. But let's say the main, what should I do with this information? What's the next step? The main call to action should be obvious and clear, and 1 call to action per email. So those are the 5 topics I wanted to cover today. Honestly, most welcome emails are missing some of these, and they're kind of easy fixes and easy adjustments to make to get your welcome flow to perform better. We always, encourage our clients and, those that we advise on the email scene to test if you're not sure, and especially if you're getting pushback from the team. Oh, but we had 7 calls to action in this email, and should we do just 1? Try it. Do your best guess. The good news is in email, almost every email tool will have the capability to A/B test. But this is what we're seeing from our vantage point of supporting clients designing, optimizing their welcome flows. So let's recap those. Number 1, deliver what you promised immediately. Number 2, write like a human. Number 3, tell your story, but be brief. Number 4, set expectations about what you're going to be sending, how often, so people know, and try to stick to 1 clear call to action per email. If you do these 5 things, I guarantee you're going to be, a few steps ahead of your competitors. Most people miss and overcomplicate their welcome emails, and that leads to lower conversion over time. We like to tell our clients that a welcome flow or series of welcome emails, it's really an introduction to your brand. And just like if you had a neighbor that moved in across the street, just like you would walk over the first day and bring a bottle of wine or a fruit basket or something and say, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. I live over there. Yeah, we got a couple kids. Oh, that's great. Going to this school. Yeah, listen, we're here. Holler if you need anything. We'll look forward to visiting you more, and then you kind of leave them be, right? That very first touch doesn't need to be sit down and tell them your entire life story. That would feel really overwhelming. You want a warm, friendly tone. You want to deliver the high level talking points and message, and just be that smiling face that's hopefully the beginning of a long and wonderful relationship. But that first touch point doesn't need to be that deep to be effective, right? And that's what we tell our clients when we do that. So if you're not sure whether your welcome flow is doing its job, or you don't have one yet, or you want some help getting started, please reach out. We offer a welcome flow service for precisely this, and we're happy to lend a hand. And I hope you found these tips useful. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and have a great day.